Welcome to the first episode of FOHQnA. Kev, the guys can ask any questions they like.
They can
to
ask.
us. We don't have to answer
Absolutely.
But FOHQnA, or what can you go?
It took us. I was wrong. It wasn't 45 seconds. It was at least maybe a minute 15 seconds before we got back to you. It was like watching Harry Potter open the Marauders map with this thing. He's fiddling through it. Just.
It's my magic book, yeah? This one here. All my notes are in this book. Stop it! The purpose of this whole series is to, once every couple of weeks...
Expose us.
There's a thread on the forum. If you want questions answered, put them on the forum and we'll cover them over the next couple of weeks, next couple of months.
Doesn't include you, Fuzz.
Well, we don't have to take all the questions in a race. Kenny, this one's to me. Most unusual find in a box of cigars or a master case? That's pretty easy. It was only earlier this year, or was it late last year, that I came across a box of Monty 2s with nothing in it. Just a completely empty box of Monty 2s. I think that's one of the best that I've seen.
So who'd you send that to?
A non-smoker.
At least it wouldn't. The duties would be low.
I found over the years I've had a box of cigars that got cigars missing. I've found different cigars within that same box. I found notes from roller to roller. Some of them were love letters, or other ones were what we're having for lunch. I found everything in master cases, or even boxes of cigars trapped between the lid and the paper itself. So that would be, for me, that would be the most, the most disappointing box of cigars I've ever seen is one had no cigars in it whatsoever.
Wish my box of Monty C's had no cigars in it.
Well, there's a great thread on the forum at the moment, which is show your box anomalies, and see some of the anomalies on that thread that's come through. Oh, it's ugly. Ken, this one's for you. First cigar that got you hooked, Ken, in the world of cigars.
Oh, look, I'm not really sure. I have never had a cigarette in my life, and no interest whatsoever in them. But for some reason, back at uni, then I'd have a cigar once every 6 months or so forth, and I'm sure that they were utter rubbish, and they would never have been stored properly or anything. But that was sort of interesting, and I kept that up for quite a few years.
Can I just interrupt? This is not a 9-part series.
He's got the scissors. Thank you.
No, we're not cutting this, right? I'll give you a minute to answer. Go.
I'll do my best. Anyway, and then started to have a few more. And I saw one question about when did we meet. And that came back. Gary Farr from Bannockburn Vineyards, or now By Far Vineyards. Gary's an old mate of mine, a winemaker, and he came up to Fraser with us one year, and he brought a heap of cigars. And I said, "Well, where'd you get them?" He said, "Oh, some dodgy bloke in the back of a coffee shop." I said, "What on earth are you talking about?" And he said, they sent me to some place called Merlot's." I said, "Well, I know Dean. I've known Dean for decades. He doesn't sell cigars." "Yeah, he's got a bloke in the back." So I went into... And there was Rob, and bald as a badger.
Verdi.
Yes, he was there. He was nice. He was always very useful to deal with. Occasionally had to deal with him.
I sack Verdi.
Yeah, because he'd sell me good cigars. And I remember buying one of the in their own little coffins. Must have been the 2000 LEs. That the size of the Monty A's, they were Particularis.
Hoyle Montres.
Yes.
Particularis.
Yes.
Plugged?
No, I think I've still got it somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I got charged 5 times the recommended retail. So anyway, but I kept coming back occasionally. Probably some of the very first LEs from 2000, I started to think these things are all right. The very early SLRDCs.
Is the SLRDC the first cigar that you went, wow? What's the first cigar you went, wow on?
I honestly can't remember specifically. I would suspect. Oh, I honestly don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Well, there you go.
I'd have to look in the note. I mean, yeah. I did go wow with the SLR DCs because I remember you used to do the
Which is the dinners at Mercury Restaurant.
Yes, and we'd all line up with those, and we all expected a Cohiba or a really good Partagas or something special. And you fronted up one night. I've got these things called SLR DCs, and everyone's going.
Well, I knew what they were, but you couldn't give them away.
A bit late to get out of this.
You couldn't give them away.
But I remember that cigar because. And they were the famous ones, the very first release that they did, which was what,
2001? After first release after a period of time, yeah, 2001.
But that was their first ever, I think, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
Oh, anyway, that'd be interesting to check. But I remember it because seriously, the ash I had on that thing would have been that long. It was extraordinary. It just kept going and going and going, and I did think wow about that. I certainly thought, wow, what a great cigar. And you said, look, can't sell these. They're $40 each. They're going for 20 tonight. And I had like $250 in my pocket. I was living at the Gold Coast. Had to drive back that night. I'm thinking, God, I hope I don't break down. Here's 240. I'll take a dozen of them because you didn't have that many. I don't think.
You never had that much money.
No, I don't know where it came from.
Not since either.
I must have had a real job there. And I think I've still got one of them left, maybe two. But they were always fantastic. But I just thought, yeah, okay, these are seriously good cigars. And that made me also think it doesn't have to be Cohiba or the top Partagas. There's got to be
regular
lots
production
of
cigars.
Other good things to find.
Next question's to me. Which of the obliterated markers would you like to see make a comeback? And which Vitola from that marker? That's a difficult one. I mean, there's some great ones. I mean, Siboney, Gisbert, you can go, Maria, there's so many great ones, but I don't think you have to go too far. If you see what Diadema, the Italian distributors, did with La Exception, and the Lancero that they brought out as their regional, that's where I would focus on. That's what I'd love to see come back. They prove that there is such a market for that, and I'm a big believer in Habanos to ditch the Anojado program and to ditch or to scale back on the LE and the regional program and to do a heritage release program, which is to bring back, once every year or 2 years, a cigar such as La Exception or Gisbert's or Siboney or whatever.
As a one-off or as a regular production?
Well, no, I think they can go. They can do it. They can do it for a year and then bring back another one, and they can revisit it again in a decade's time for that one cigar. I mean, some of these brands we just don't hear about, or markets that we don't hear about any longer. I think it'd be a fantastic program, and it doesn't have to be specifically tailored towards markers which have gone. But I mean, I'd love to see a Por Larrañaga Magnum come back for a year, and we can stock up again. Mind you, I'd love to see some of the discontinued cigars come back for a year and be produced every 3 years, and that would be like the Des Dieu or the 898 Ramon Iones, etc. There, I mean, that would be a program that I can get into, that I think our members can get into and could really, really enjoy. Next one is favourite year of production since 2000. For me, I mean, I get to see, I don't know, tens of thousands of cigars a year that I personally open and smoke. I think things really turned the corner since the 2000s, from about 2006 on. 208, I think I'm really enjoying 218, 19, but I still think 206, 208 are two of my favourite years.
I know it doesn't get a lot of love, but 03, I thought there was a lot of good cigars. I was just lucky, but 03 is one I remember.
They're getting their feet back on track in 03. I mean, look, there's good cigars in all years, yeah, and there's no black and whites in tobacco. There's good cigars in all years, but you see they started getting their act together back in 03. It got better in 05. 05, 06, they started getting enough. After the disaster of 1998, 1999, where they were doing 160 million cigars.
But even those, you still got some good cigars.
Got some, but the plug rate was way too high, Kenny.
I just thought that was what you sold me.
Yeah, well, the plug rate was too high. So yeah, I think for me personally, I love 206, I love 208 cigars, but some great memories. of those there. How long has it been since Ken has been on a date?
You wrote that one.
I didn't. It's on the forum. How long has it been since? Well, Kenny, one that you haven't paid for. How long has it been since you've been on a date?
Oh dear. Keep the day job. Stand-up comedy is not going to do it for you. Trust me, you'd be the last to know.
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
He has no idea. He has no idea.
You don't have to answer.
I'm not going to.
You're not going to. No?
Of course I'm not.
All right. It's very disappointing, isn't it?
No, things are okay.
Hands down, favourite Cuban cigar drink combination. Ken, this is for you.
Oh, that's interesting. Look, I mean, I'm a bit of the, if you love the cigar, if you love the drink, it's going to work. And so I'd be going great rums. I think great rums go so well with top cigars. So I'd be thinking of something I've had with one of the great rums, like the Isla del Tesoro or Santiago's, some of the other great rums, and pretty much then a great cigar like a Lucy or something like that. Be
So
very happy.
out of the rums, I mean, the rum we had a couple of weeks ago, last week
Angostura.
was Angostura. That was superb.
Talk it up. They've just got me. I'm just doing some stuff for them. So talk
Really
them up.
superb. Yeah.
Talk them up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good rum.
It's an because that's the bitters company, and people don't realise how much rum they also do. And the good rums, they do this thing called Legacy. I've never seen Legacy because it's about $1 squillion and about 50 bottles sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But there are some stunning rums out there.
I agree with you. I mean, to me, rum and cigars go best. I mean, I don't. I mean, we had that tasting. Orange juice was good, but no, generally, if you're having a drink, for me, a great rum is just a match made in heaven. We're having whiskies today, and we're doing some fantastic whiskies. What have we got there? We got Highland Park
98.
98 Highland Park.
That's just a Bowmore.
A Bowmore.
The legend.
That's magnificent. And normally I don't. Normally I prefer a rum and a cigar over a whiskey and a cigar. But tell you what, some of these are going exceptionally well. But I think it also depends on the type of cigar you're having.
Oh,
That
I'm sure.
makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And which goes to another question here. Do you change your method of cut dependent upon the type of cigar? Well, naturally. I mean, I use my fingernails for
He's all class.
all Parejo cigars. I'll show you how to do that. I'll do a little video for that next time as to how I cut my cigars. But if it's a Figurado, I just use a straight cut.
Yeah.
But you use a punch.
I use this. I mean, I always used to use the clippers, which were fine and are still fine. And indeed, if it's a difficult cigar, I'll often bring out the clippers to try and get it back on track.
Yeah.
But this thing, I just love this little thing, and I just started using them, and it's worked.
I've got
works for
great
me.
mates who love their V cuts on pretty much all their cigars. Me, I caught up with Don Alejandro Rubena a couple of times at his farm, and he showed me how to use the serrated pinch cut, and I've always used it ever since then. I mean, to me, it's just so handy and it works so well. But I'll do a separate bit on that and see if you guys can practice that at home. Most bizarre experience with a customer, whether it be for me. I think 99% of customers are great.
Gee, you should see the times that this camera's off.
God, that's rubbish. That's rubbish. I rarely complain about customers. That's because I'd have to deal with them. I bet it's mostly D and Lise. But no. There has been recently a customer. He'd be the most difficult one I've had to deal with. I love customers who. Well, this one here, he got some mouldy cigars and he blamed us, and rightly we should have checked them, and that's fine. We send out so many cigars, we should check them all the time, and now he wants to tell the world, and he's holding out for a payout. If we don't pay out, he's going to tell the world about it. And I said, well, go hard, son. There's always that type. The most difficult cut, we had another one recently who purchased 5 or 6 boxes of cigars, loved them all, and then got a chargeback straight away, straight fraud. I mean, from a retailer's perspective, chargebacks are always an issue. For us, not so much, because we have a forum, so we have a personal contact in the main. But there are just professional fraudsters who
I've
are
got a
customers.
question.
Yeah.
How many people have you kicked off the forum?
Well, as that comes back to you
Permanently.
shortly,
Permanently.
we would kick off the forum, I'd say, under 10 a year. And that could be people who just turn up and want to sell something.
Well, I haven't offended 10 a year.
You offend 10 a year.
No, I haven't offended 10 a year. That's not down to me.
No. No, most people we kick off, 90% of the people who kick off are the ones who come on and just try to flog a product. But you guys say very much, how much spam we get on the forum, which is almost nothing. That's because the mods do a fantastic job, but also we just
Not
don't
that we get any
attract.
thanks for it. Yeah.
You are. Honestly.
I'm starting to enjoy this more than I thought I would.
I'll leave the question, a question that's relevant on that subject here at the end here. Do certain marks smoke better at different humidity levels? And say a Coro at 65 and Fonseca at 70. That's something we're actually going to do for forensics. We'll actually sort of tee that up, but I'll need the help of some forum members around the world so we can actually put a couple of cigars at different humidity levels and try them out, because it's no use, even if it's just me and Smithy and Ken doing it, we need to get a wider array of participants in order to get something that's relevant.
I actually remember the silver boxes, the cigar carrying little things, which are great. I still use mine, but it did come with a little humidity thing in the middle of it. One of my mates bought one. He's rung me up. I think your mate's sold us a dud here. I said, what are you talking about? This little humidity thing. I got to the stage where I actually put it in a glass of water for a week, and it still didn't move.
Jesus.
And he said, no, that's just painted on. It's not actually working.
Yeah.
I'm here to help.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. How many times has Ken been suspended? And why is he allowed back time after time?
Thank you, Fuzz.
Kenny, you've been 5 times suspended now?
Have I?
Yeah, I've been 5. I think 3 as a moderator you've been suspended, which is the only moderator in history who's been suspended is Ken. In fact, on any forum I know about.
A few of them have been unfair, I will say this. A few of them have
Unfair,
been,
my
one or two maybe, but a couple of them have been unfair. And he would not listen to reason. Seriously, there's no appeal in this.
We've had the Ken, I need to see you discussion a few times.
Doesn't go like that.
Well, I then hop in the car, pop across, and sit down over a cigar, and explain to him.
Oh, if only that were
But that
true.
moderation is about being moderate. Just moderate. Otherwise, it would be called.
I'm just a zealous defender of the forum.
I think that's enough for this week's FOH.
That's pretty much all the questions we're likely to get ever, isn't it?
Oh, there's a whole heap. We've got another 20 or so questions. We'll do that next week. FOHQnA on FOH. Until next week. Cheers.